Hi everybody, so today we've got an exciting new release that has literally come from nowhere. This is the Charlotte Tilbury launch, a Pillow Talk extension, and we have two face palettes here. I've picked up both shades, and we have 4 new lipsticks, 2 of them in the matte formula and 2 of them in the kissing formula. So I'm going to try all of these on today. I'm going to show you a few comparisons for the shades here with the blushes with some other products in the Charlotte Tilbury line. And I can't wait to get started. And if you're new here, hi, my name's Hannah. I'm 48. I'm not a professional, but I am somebody who loves makeup and beauty. And here on my channel, I show you the latest releases, my favorite looks, and give you any beauty news you might be interested in. If you think you'd enjoy this, please do hit the subscribe button. It's ever so helpful to my channel. And if you're already subscribed, welcome back. I really appreciate you being here. And my skin and colouring, if that's important for matching up these colours. I've got fair to light skin with predominantly cool, leaning a tiny bit neutral undertones, and I've got blue eyes. Anyway, that's enough about me. Let's get straight into this video. So I think it was only 2 days ago that this actually came out. Launched. It's arrived within 48 hours of me ordering. But I heard about it for the very first time. I had no idea this was coming. I hadn't seen any pre-launch pictures. I hadn't seen any teasers. This really was a surprise. And it launched in Harrods here in the UK. And it hasn't launched anywhere else. It's not currently on the Charlotte Tilbury website at the time of me filming and uploading this video. I do believe it will be launching everywhere eventually, but I don't think it's launched anywhere else. So it has just launched in Harrods. So don't worry, I'm sure you'll all be able to get your hands on these very soon, and I will update you all as soon as they arrive. But from the Harrods website, there was very limited information for me to really tell you anything about these products. And you know what? I've just checked the Harrods website and they've gone again. So this is exactly what happened around Christmas time. So something very fishy here is happening. If you remember, the Contour Beauty ones were launched in different shades, and they launched on Harrods just for a few hours. And they also launched the New Year lipsticks. There were those special cases. I don't know, I've got them quite nearby somewhere, but anyway, I won't pull them out. The Lunar New Year lipsticks, and they all launched on the Harrods website. I ordered them immediately, and then a few hours later they vanished and they didn't come back. And then they did all launch on the Charlotte Tilbury website and Sephora and everywhere else. So I'm sure that's what's going to happen here, so that you can't actually buy these at the time of me filming and uploading these because they've disappeared off the Harrods website. But the great news is they actually arrived here today, so I can show you them. Now, when I did take some notes off the Harrods website, I can't tell you if this is correct or not because it's disappeared, but I've written down that these are blush and highlights. And if you watched my new releases video, Will I Buy It, Won't I described them as blush and highlights because I really thought that's what they were. But I was very surprised, firstly, by the size of these boxes. They are huge. And then inside, very pleased though, very pleased, because look at the size of these. For £43, I think I'm amazed actually by the size of them. They are huge. And these are face palettes. They are not blush and highlighters. So inside of both of these you get a blush, and then you get an airbrush powder. So here's a close-up of the packaging. I mean, look at this. It is so heavy. It feels so luxe. I know some people have been saying they think that the heart-shaped is tacky and it's copying other brands. I can assure you this does not look like the normal standard heart-shaped packaging. This is exceptional quality. It really is. It's very heavy. It's very big. It's not like anything I've ever seen in heart-shaped. It is absolutely stunning. If you like hearts, and I love hearts, I collect hearts, I have them all over my house, you're going to love this. So we've got this lovely pink jewel. I honestly don't find it remotely tacky. I think it's beautiful. But obviously that's personal taste. But then inside we have this lovely mirror. And then just look at this. And the embossing. Isn't it gorgeous? Sorry it's a bit messy. I've already done a swatch video of this. You may have already seen that. So what we have in here, it's got the number 1 written on it here, airbrush powder, and then number 2, blush. So this isn't a highlighter. So presumably 1, 2, meaning put your finishing powder on first and then follow up with a blush. Or in my case, I think I probably go with blush and use finishing powder around the edges to perfect, but you can probably do it both ways. I've actually already set my face because I'd actually done that before this arrived, because it literally arrived about an hour ago. So I will be using it more as a finishing powder than a setting powder, which is how I use the airbrush powder anyway. I don't use it as an all over setting powder, I use it as a finishing powder. But these are absolutely gorgeous. So this one I've just shown you now, that is the coral one, sorry, the pink one I mean. So this is Flawless Pink, and I do think that this powder has a very slight pinky tinge to it. So it's not actually like any of the airbrush powders that I've seen. I have got them to show you side by side, but let me first of all just show you the other one. So we have exactly the same colour heart in the other one, so the packaging is exactly the same, except this one is Flawless Peach. So here it is. There you can see the sort of corally peach shade we have there. And then this is a slightly peachy finishing powder. So they are different. And I have here, I've got 3 of the finishing powders or setting powders. I've got shade 1 Fair, and I've got shade, which one is this? Shade 2. So if I show you these two now, and you can see how sort of yellow they are. They do have a yellow finish. This one's shade 2. Sorry about the state of it. This one was very well used by me, but I switched up and started using Fair because I thought it was better for me. Sorry about this cut on my finger. It looks dreadful. Another opening package injury. So I can't complain really, can I? But anyway. So there they are. You can see they're quite warm and yellow. And if I show you now the peach, you can see straight away that there's definitely a difference. They are not the same at all. And then if I hold up the pink, which is the lighter of the two, again, you can definitely see that it's got a pink tone to the finishing powder. And here is the Fair. So you can see Fair and the pink close to each other. I'll actually do a swatch of the 2 of them so you can see the Fair and the pink. It's not very easy to swatch things like this because they don't show up on my skin very well, but anyway, this one is the original in Fair, and then this is the new one from the pink face palette. So it's got more of a brightening tone to it really, having that sort of pink. So this one could be really good for setting under the eyes, so I'm definitely going to give that a go. I've actually already set under my eyes. I'm very tempted. Let me just try that. I just have to give it a go. I've set under my eyes so I can't do too much, but let me just get a little bit of this pink powder. Quite a bit of kickback coming off as I touch it there, look. I don't know if you can see that on the camera. Let me just pop a little bit under the eyes. I'm not going to go into the corner because that would be overloading the powder under my eyes, but I'm thinking that that is a really nice brightening shade, which I think it is, you know. I do need to test this further, so I'd like to test this when I've got just concealer on, so I'm using it to set to see if it looks okay, because to be honest, the airbrush setting powders, I've never loved them for under the eyes, but a lot of that was to do with the yellow finish. So now this could be really good. That definitely has a very nice brightening effect. So already I'm getting something out of this I was not expecting. And I do apologise for not having just concealer on. I thought it was a highlighter, so I've been filming other things this morning and I was not expecting to have a finishing / setting powder. So I think the next thing to do, before I try those on, I'll try one of the lipsticks. I'll go through the video and try them on so I can leave them on a bit longer so you can see them on me a bit more. So the 4 shades in this, they were £29 each, and we have the Matte Revolution. That's what it said on Harrods anyway, so we'll find out if that's true when I open it. They were £29 each. You get 3.5 grams of products and they're made in Italy. I think I would like to have a fairly pink finish today, so they're all pinky really. If you look at the tones on the boxes there, I think I'll try maybe the darkest one, which is Love Talk, and according to what I've written down here, Love Talk is in the kissing formula. Well, I've noticed that the Harrods website was definitely wrong because I can now see on the package it's Matte Revolution. Let me see what the others say. Yeah, there are kissing ones. So I was very misinformed by everything I saw on the Harrods website there. So here is the packaging for Love Talk, and we've got this beautiful jewel on the top. Isn't that gorgeous? So you can see that this jewel matches the jewel we are getting with the face palette, and you can just see the Charlotte Tilbury logo coming through there. So again, you do have to like this, but I adore hearts, so I'm very pleased. But otherwise the packaging looks the same as sort of standard packaging for Charlotte Tilbury lipsticks, which is very nice. So Matte Revolution is a very creamy matte. It's a very comfortable matte, so I do really like it. But this shade is a little bit scary for me, I have to be honest. There's even a heart on the embossing there. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? I don't know if there's another one. Yeah, there's one either side. Oh, actually, when I roll up, is there another one? Oh yeah, there's a big one there. Oh, that is just such a nice touch. So there's 4 hearts. 5 hearts. There's a little one. Oh wow. Look at me getting so excited over all these hearts. It is covered in hearts. Oh, that is so pretty. So let me do a swatch of this on the back of my hand. This could be, like I said, a bit much for me. So here it is. It's quite a sort of deep reddish tone, isn't it? Let's see. Oh, actually, I don't think that is too much. I am going to use a brush just to smudge it out because it's quite a strong colour for me. I always use just an old eyeshadow brush for this, the same one. That's actually a really nice colour. A colour I would have shied away from looking at it on the website, so I only picked it up for review. But a colour that I think is actually quite wearable for me. Still feels a little bit overwhelming on my very fair skin. Oh, I do like it. I think I just need blush because my cheeks are desperately in need of colour. So let's move straight to the blush. Anyway, that is Matte Revolution Love Talk. So I'll leave that on whilst I apply. Which one shall I try first? I'm going to do one either side. So let's start with the peach. So I'm going to use my favourite blush brush in the world from Refa that launched this holiday season, and take some on the brush. Quite a lot of product there, look. And let's just start going on. That's quite pigmented. So this is going directly onto powder. So obviously with this being a face palette, you're supposed to use the airbrush finishing powder first. So it would be going on top of that, I suppose. Gosh, that blends out rather beautifully. So this is going, oh, that is really nice. So this is going on top of powder, it's just not going on top of the airbrush, but I will use it as a finishing powder. Even though this is blending out so well, I don't know if it actually needs a finishing powder, but I do like to really soften the edges of my blush. This is very pigmented, you know. I hardly tapped in at all to the blush and I'm getting so much colour. That is a lovely, lovely shade. I really like that. This would be a lovely one as well for summer looks. A sort of corally peach. Now this could be built up, but I don't think I will. I'm certain it could be, but it's going to look dreadful on me. I'll just do a tiny bit because obviously you want to see how buildable this is, but that tiny touch tells me that you can build this up a lot. So much deeper skin tones. I just literally tapped in once and look how much more I just got. So deeper skin tones will definitely get on very well with this, I think. Wow, that's really nice. It's definitely giving quite a matte finish. I'm not seeing any sort of luminosity, but it's not an overly dry, if you know what I mean by overly dry matte finish. It's got a little bit of this almost glow, I feel. I don't know if that's my imagination, but it feels a little bit glowy, which is really pretty. And this is Charlotte Tilbury, so you would expect some sort of glow, really, wouldn't you? So let's try the airbrush powder on top. So I'm going to go in with my Buffer Pro, which is the brush I always use from Sonia G for going in with finishing powder. So this is the one that's probably a bit deep on my skin tone, certainly for under the eyes, because it's got that peachiness to it. But it could work really well mixed in with this, and it should just soften the edges. Oh, look at that, it's done that instantly giving me that softened edge. Oh, what a lovely duo. And it's brightened it a bit as well. Oh, this is really nice, you know, really, really nice. You can tell, hopefully, from my reaction, because I'm loving that. I love how easy it is. Just, oh, that's really good. And I love using it as a finishing powder. That's definitely the way I'd prefer to do it. Look at that, isn't it pretty? And I like it with this lipstick as well. So on my eyes, I've got a fairly neutral look, just wearing browns and a bit of shimmer. So I'm hoping it's not particularly clashing with anything I'm trying on today. Oh, that is lovely. So there we go. What do you think of this face palette? And the full title of this face palette, if I didn't say it, is the Beauty Soulmates face palette. And then it says underneath, Love is Awakening Airbrush Flawless Finish, plus Beautifying Pillow Talk Love Blush. So this is Pillow Talk Love Blush in peach, with that sort of slightly peachy airbrush finishing powder. And it is gorgeous, absolute 10 out of 10. And the packaging, that is the best blush packaging in my entire collection, bar none. I adore that, I really do. And look how big it is. And this is also made in Italy, by the way, and there are 13 grams of product in here. So I did say I would do some comparisons for you, but I don't have any peachy blushes from Charlotte. So I've only got pinks, I think. I'll just check. Yeah, I've only got pinks, so I can't really do a peach comparison for you with this. Obviously, I do have quite a lot of peach shade blushes. So if you do want me to do any comparisons with certain peach blushes, like I said, if I start doing that now, this video will become an hour long because I've got so many. So if there's one in particular that you would like me to do a comparison with, please do let me know and I will. But certainly a duo that has these two together, there's nothing like that in my whole collection, definitely. This is an original, an absolute original, and it is stunning. So I'm now going to take the lipstick off and try another one on before I move on to the pink blush. I'm going to actually try the other matte one because these are two deeper shades in this new release. So this one is called Dream Talk, so we're getting exactly the same packaging. And this is how Dream Talk looks. Again, a very rich shade. So here it is. I'll just swatch the other one I tried on first, which is the Love Talk. So you can just see the difference between the two. So here they are swatched together. And this one is the Love Talk, the first one I tried on, which is more of a sort of reddish finish. And we have more of a pinky mauve here in the Love Talk. So they are definitely different, but they're both quite strong pigment, quite strong shades. Oh, such a nice formula. As you can see straight away, I'm just making sure I'm putting the right one on here, Dream Talk. You can see straight away the pigment. But also keeping in mind, I have just taken off the other lipstick and I've got quite dry lips and my lips are handling this very well. So for a matte, this really is creamy and beautiful, but also very grippy. And the pointed edge on this makes it very easy to use the lipstick as a liner. That is definitely my favourite of the two. It doesn't go so well with the peach, the other one did, because that had more of a sort of reddish peach to it, didn't it? But this one, I think this one's going to go with the pink. And this one did as well have all the hearts going around it, look. Beautiful. Now let's look at the pink blush. So this one is called Flawless Pink. And I do have some comparisons. Now, when I first showed this on my Will I Buy It video, and also when I put the advert out to buy it through Harrods, a lot of you asked me if I would compare it with the duo that launched 2 years ago, I think now, which was also Pillow Talk, I believe. Let's see what it's called. The Hollywood Blush Glow Glide Palette. Maybe it's not Pillow Talk then. No, so it wasn't Pillow Talk, it was the Hollywood range. So this is what the packaging looked like on that, and that is how it looked. So you can see that the blush, there is some similarity, but I do think looking in the pan, there's a bit of difference. I will swatch the comparison, but the obvious difference here is that I thought this one was a highlighter, but it isn't. So this one was a highlight and blush duo, and this one definitely isn't. So that's the key difference there. But let's swatch the two blushes. So here is the new Flawless Pink shade, and I will now compare it with the Glow Blush and Glow Glide palette. Straight away it's a different formula actually. It feels a little bit more, it's like creamy, I'd say, the Blush and Glow, but Blush and Glow, Blush and Glow, but they're not that different. So here it is, but it's got more of a creamy finish. This one has more of a sort of glow to it, and it's more of just a soft powder. It definitely feels a bit creamy, even though it's not a cream blush, but the formulas are definitely different. So I do think this one is a little bit more glowy, but they are very, very similar shades. But obviously what we're not getting is that highlighter. So the only other blush in my collection from Charlotte Tilbury that I think is slightly similar to that is this one here. And this one is the Cheek to Chic Love is the Drug. So it's similar to the Pop, I think, in the center. So I will just swatch the Pop. The Pop is nowhere near as pigmented, I can tell you that much straight away. I will swatch the two together and the Pop so you can see both looks for that blush. So here is the Cheek to Chic, huge difference. So this is the Pop in the middle, and this is when I swatch the two together. So in no way are they similar. So it is these two that are similar. So if you were just looking for a Charlotte Tilbury blush in pink and you already have this Blush and Glow set, then you have pretty much got this shade. Just ever so slightly different formula that isn't quite the same. Definitely a different finish. So just before I apply this, I'm going to take the lipstick off that I'm wearing now, which I have to say, every time I look at it, I love it. So this one was the Matte Dream Talk. I'm just reminding myself more than anything else. So I'll take this off and move to the next one. So now I'm going to open Naughty Talk, which is in the Kissing formula, my favourite formula from Charlotte, which is so hydrating. So exactly the same packaging, there's no difference. I don't know if there's any difference in colour or anything. No, they are all the same, the matte and the Kissing, exactly the same shade. So here is Naughty Talk with all those pretty hearts again. And this is a lot less pigmented, more of an everyday wearable, I would say. Very nice shade. So let's try this one on. It's quite interesting, you know, how the level of hydration feels quite similar between the matte and this, even though this is the really hydrating formula. This one is more hydrating, but it's not that different, which shows how good that matte is. It's so wearable. So that's a much softer shade, very much an everyday, so easy to apply. You can really not go wrong applying this one. This would be a really good one to just pop in your bag and touch up during the day. And I can see a colour like this being very popular with everybody. So that goes with the coral as well, even though it's not particularly coral. It is slightly warm, isn't it? But it definitely goes with it, and it will go with a lot of colours, I think. So now I think I've saved what might be my favourite till last, which is the pink blush. But I do need to be conscious of how much pigment there is in these blushes. So I'm using the same brush, but I have cleaned it off. And I'm just going to take a little bit. Look, I've just tapped in, all that has come on my brush, so you pick up a lot. So I'm going to be quite cautious in the way I pat this on, like I did with the coral. Oh, that's fine actually. Fine, but I'm getting absolutely plenty. I can go in for a bit more though, I think. You can see straight away that it's a very buildable shade. Seems a little bit less glowy than this side, but then I haven't added the airbrush on top. And I think that it's giving that sort of pop of brightness when you do that. Definitely don't feel like I need a highlighter on that side, you know, it works like a highlighter adding the airbrush on top. But like I said, because they're numbered 1 and 2, I'm guessing that isn't the intention of the way you should apply. It should be powder, then blush. That is a very pretty shade. Although I have to say, I don't think I prefer it to this one. I love this one so much. I'm not sure I prefer this one. It is very, very bright on me actually. But I think I will reserve judgment until I've added that powder, which I think makes quite a big difference. I'm just taking it into the eye there a little bit and taking it up a bit. Taking that into my eye, but that completely changes the look because you can see a bit of pink there and I haven't got it there. So I do look quite different side by side now. So please do ignore the difference because look how much, just taking that into my eye, look how much has gone onto my eye. It's too much really. Anyway, I will fix it hopefully with the finishing powder. This is very, very, very pigmented, so really be careful when you try this. But it does blend out easily. I just felt like there was something more blurring about this one, whereas this one doesn't seem to be quite as pretty, I don't think. Anyway, let's try the finishing powder on top and then we can really see the full effect. And I do really like this powder. It looked lovely and brightening under the eyes when I tried it. I'm just going to pat around the edges. Oh yeah, that transforms it. This powder is magic, literally. I know Charlotte often uses the word magic, but totally transforms it. Oh, these powders. We need these powders on their own if nothing else, but I do like the way they work with the blush. Oh, I really like that. The second I add that, I'm going to take it all over, not just the edges, because I think it just changes the whole effect of the blush. That is so much better. That is quite magic, it really is. Do you see the difference? I think one of the things is that this one matches better with the eye makeup I'm wearing, because even though they're fairly neutral, they do have a little bit of warmth. The brown I'm wearing has a bit of warmth and it goes so well with the corally peach and not so well with the pink, and because I've taken it into the eye, it sort of clashed here. So I don't think it works very well. So I would wear this with pinks and mauves on the eyes, definitely, and I think you'll get a much nicer finish, overall effect I mean. That should give you an idea anyway of how it looks when you do use it. So there we go. This is the pink palette. Oh, and I have to read it again. The Charlotte's Beauty Soulmates Face Palette in Pillow Talk Flawless Pink. I love these powders. That's the standout for me, is the powders. They are just magic. I want to try them with so many things now. So the last thing to try is the last lipstick. So I'll take off this lipstick and try the last kissing one, which is a lighter pink. And this one is called Kiss Talk. So obviously, again, we're getting exactly the same packaging. But let's look at the colour of this lipstick. Here it is. This really is a true pink, isn't it? So I'll swatch this on the back of my hand and you'll see the difference between the two of them as well, because I've kept the other kissing one on the back of my hand. So here we have Kiss Talk, and the one I tried on before that was the Naughty Talk. So definitely more of a sort of brown warm shade, whereas this is a really true pink, isn't it? Quite excited about trying this one now. Oh, that is gorgeous. Look at that colour. Oh, that is stunning. This already has potential to be one of my favourite pinks from Charlotte. That's how much I'm immediately loving that. Oh wow, that is pretty. Now I was going to say I would probably go in with my Charlotte Tilbury Fair Lip Liner, but I honestly don't think it needs it. I really don't think it does. I think it lines the lips because I've taken it right to the edge with that sort of flat edge. I really don't think it needs a liner. And it's just so wearable and so easy to apply again because it's that kissing formula and you're getting a bit of a shine because of the finish. Oh, that is beautiful. I love that, and that's a lovely match with the pink. I just can't stop thinking that this pink is just a big clash with my eyes. So I do apologise because I don't think I can fully show off this pink blush when I've got this eye colour on. It's not as neutral as I was hoping. Anyway, that is the entire collection. So I've tried everything on and I think you already know my thoughts because I've been quite vocal on how I feel about these. I love the face palette, particularly this peach finish. I think that's my favourite of the two, but I have to try this pink one with pink eyeshadow looks. I love it with this lip. My favourite of the four lips is easily this one. So my favourite two were the pinks. So we have the Kissing in called Kiss Talk, and then the matte one which was called Dream Talk. Those were my favourites, definitely. The peachy shades were lovely as well. They're actually really, really, really good. So if you're wearing a sort of warm or peachy tone, you've got those two options, whether it's kissing or matte. Very hard to pick between, but if it was me, I would be going for this one from the Kissing formula, because that's my favourite of the four for sure. I love it. It's so pretty. And the standout, as you've seen, is the packaging is one, but it is this airbrush powder, which is absolutely amazing. I mean, we already knew it was a good formula, but I love these colours. These colours are fabulous. And I think Charlotte should launch them as standalone colours. They are so good. It just really made such a difference, and I'm looking forward to trying them with other blushes now. But definitely for summer, I can imagine the peach one being quite a go-to for me, because I think that that is just a stunning combination and it'll look so nice. I think this would be perfect, you know, with the Natasha Denona Bloom eyeshadow palette. This would work perfectly with it. Beautiful. And the packaging is a knockout. So there we have it. What do you think of everything I've tried? Have you seen this collection advertised? I didn't until 2 days ago. I haven't seen it anywhere, and hopefully it will be launching. I do think I heard something about the end of the month, so as soon as I hear for definite, I will put a link out and let you know where and when it's available everywhere else. Clearly it's not available anywhere right now because it's not on the Harrods website, which is a complete and utter mystery. But the fact that this has happened twice now with Charlotte releases makes me think maybe it's intentional to have that just very small quantity go to Harrods so a few people can get it and then it just stops again. It must be intentional. It can't happen twice, can it? By mistake. I don't think. Anyway, so I've loved this. I would love to hear your thoughts about everything I've just tried on. Will you be picking any of these things up? Are you a big fan of Charlotte Tilbury? I certainly am. I love the glow. I love the packaging. I love everything about Charlotte on the whole. I know that she can be a bit of a Marmite brand these days. Everyone has divided opinions, but I have to be honest and say I've never gone off Charlotte. I really haven't. Obviously there's the odd product I don't enjoy, but on the whole I love Charlotte Tilbury products, and these are another winner for me. They really are, all of them, but this lipstick and this blush are my standouts. So I'd love to hear your thoughts. Please do comment below and chat with me and everyone else who's watching, because we'd love to hear your thoughts. I would love to hear your thoughts. And if you have enjoyed this video, please do hit the like button and the subscribe button if you're not subscribed. That really is helpful. And if you're already subscribed, you are at the end of another review, and I appreciate you being here ever so much. I really do. And I do hope to see you all again for my next video. Take care, everybody. Bye.